If you lack self-awareness, you could be sabotaging your entire life and not even know it. Not because you're lazy, not because you lack discipline, but because you don't see yourself clearly. And here's the scary part, most people never do. You've probably heard things like, be more disciplined, work harder, stay consistent. But what if none of that is the real problem? What if the real reason you're stuck is because you don't understand how you think, act, or come across to others? In this video, you're going to see why self-awareness isn't just helpful, it's the skill that controls every other skill. And by the end, you'll probably start noticing things about yourself that you've never questioned before. Here's something most people never realise. You don't experience reality directly, you experience your interpretation of it. That means, you might think you're confident, but you come across as arrogant. You might think you're honest, but you sound harsh. You might think you're quiet, but others see you as disinterested. And if you can't see that gap, you can't fix anything. This is why people stay stuck for years, not because they aren't trying, but because they're solving the wrong problem. And here's the twist. The more confident someone is without self-awareness, the more damage they tend to do. Let's be honest for a second. Self-awareness sounds good, but actually becoming self-aware, that's uncomfortable. Because it forces you to face things like your bad habits, your excuses, the way you react under pressure. And most people would rather protect their ego than face the truth. So instead they blame other people, their situation, bad luck. But here's the problem. If everything is always external, you never change internally. And if you don't change internally, your results stay the same. There's a reason high-level performers obsess over self-awareness. Take elite athletes, CEOs, even top creators. They constantly ask, what am I doing wrong? How am I being perceived? Where am I blind? Not because they enjoy criticism, but because they know something most people ignore. You can't improve what you can't see. And the fastest way to grow is to remove your blind spots. Here's where it gets deeper. Most people don't actually know who they are. They know who they think they are, who they want to be, who they pretend to be, but not who they actually are day to day. So you might say, I'm disciplined, but your actions say, I procrastinate. You might believe I'm a good listener, but in conversations, you're just waiting for your turn to speak. That gap, that's where your problems live, and until you close it, nothing really changes. This isn't just about mindset. Self-awareness affects your relationships, your career, your confidence, your decisions. Think about it. If you don't understand your emotional triggers, you'll keep reacting the same way. If you don't recognize your patterns, you'll keep repeating them. If you don't see your weaknesses clearly, you'll build a life around avoiding them, instead of fixing them. There's a specific moment where self-awareness starts, and most people ignore it. It's that tiny feeling when something feels off. After a conversation, after you react emotionally, after something doesn't go your way. That moment where you could ask, why did I respond like that? But instead, you move on, you distract yourself, you justify it. And just like that, another opportunity to grow, gone. Now imagine this instead. Every time something goes wrong, you pause. Not to judge yourself, but to observe. You start noticing your patterns, your emotional reactions, your default behaviours, and suddenly things start to make sense. You're no longer confused about why things happen. You see the cause, and when you see the cause, you finally have control. Here's the truth most people don't want to hear. Self-awareness won't always make you feel better. In fact, at first it might make you feel worse, because you start seeing where you've been holding yourself back, where you've been lying to yourself, where you've been avoiding responsibility. But that discomfort, that's the turning point, because for the first time, you're not guessing anymore, you're not blaming anymore, you're not stuck anymore, you're seeing clearly, and clarity is what creates real change. So here's something to think about. If you don't understand yourself, who's really in control of your life? Is it you, or is it your habits, your emotions, your blind spots? Because once you start paying attention, really paying attention, you'll notice something strange. The problems you thought were out there were quietly starting from within. And the moment you see that clearly, that's when everything begins to change. And if this made you stop for a second, That's exactly the point, because most people go their entire lives on autopilot, never questioning how they think, react or show up. But you're different. You're starting to notice, and that awareness, that's where everything changes. So if you want more videos like this, the kind that actually make you think, see things differently, and level up how you move through life, make sure you subscribe, because the more aware you become, the more control you can take back, and the better your life will become.